Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to In the Back of the Class NBA podcast. I'm your boy A Love.
And this your boy Easy. What up?
Yo, yo, this is the last show of the year. We are here, man. We made it. 2018 has coming to an end. We are out here and about. We are happy to be here with you today. Easy, how was your year, man? 2018. Summing up for the folks.
My year was alright, man. It's full of ups and downs. Trying to grow and mature, become a better person. Even though that's a struggle, especially the maturation part. But
Oh man, I tell you what, I'm still struggling with it. I'm gonna give it another try going into 2019, and we're gonna keep on trying to grow up and trying to make these great shows for the people. So today's a special show. It's actually like we're gonna just give you basically who are our top stories for the 2018 year so far. So we're gonna hit you with what's the best story, surprise team, MVP so far, who in our opinion is the best team so far, and then finally we will end it instead of as we do normally what to look for the week. We're gonna end it with what to look for in 2019. Easy, you ready to get started?
yeah, man. Let's go. What up?
All right, man. Let's get into it. Now, Easy, before we do get in the list, I know we were going to talk about the LeBron James injury, um,
Right?
but since we had originally planned that, LeBron had made some interesting comments um, last night. So during the episode of More Than an Athlete, a series that appeared that is shown on ESPN, LeBron James told business partners Maverick Carter, Randy Mims, and Rich Paul that the coming back from the 3-1 series hold against the Golden State Warriors and leading the Cavs to their first NBA championship cemented in his mind him being the greatest player of all time. Easy. My question to you is, do you have a problem with LeBron saying that?
No, I do not have a problem with LeBron saying he's the greatest of all time because a lot of people can argue that, and he has built a narrative around that. And I believe in positive thinking that you are what you believe that you are. If he believes he's the greatest player of all time, then in his mind he can have that thought. Me personally, I don't believe that, but like I said, that's okay for him to think that. I believe that I'm the baddest, most handsomest in my Rick James voice. But will other people say that? No. Does LeBron has a case to say that he's the greatest? Yeah, a lot of people do. So I don't personally think he is, but he's built that narrative. He's built his resume. He has a nice resume to put up against anybody's for real. So
Easy. Can you one more time hit the people with that heavy knowledge? What is that saying you just dropped just a minute ago? You
uh, that you are what you believe that you are.
are what you believe you are. As you guys go into 2019, I want you to hold that thought in your mind. Wise words from the man, Easy, in
Yeah.
the back of the class NBA podcast.
And in my mind, I am the new version of Rick James. I am the baddest, most handsomest. So that's what I believe I am. So I'm going into
Wow.
2019 being the baddest and most handsomest that I am. So
Easy. Let me ask you this, man. Is there anything that LeBron could do to, in your mind, that he can do that will change your mind on him being the greatest of all time? Is there anything he can do?
no,
Wow.
no. But I do believe he is one of the greatest. Not the greatest, because when I
Yeah.
go back and look at who I think is the greatest, um, and that's MJ, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Mm.
Um, I find something new, more amazing that Michael Jordan has done and how dominant that he was. And I think LeBron being in his 15th year, I think it's too late in the game. He's already stopped playing defense. So, in my opinion, I don't believe he is. And
Wow.
I know that you think that, and I know that we're going to have a really long discussion about this in the future. So, that we're
Oh yeah.
cooking up.
It's gonna be very interesting. I tell you what, folks, y'all don't want to miss that because we both got some interesting perspectives on that topic. So that will definitely
Right.
be a future show.
And I have been arguing. I have been debating with you Facebook trolls. So so yeah, I'm gonna keep debating with you guys. But no, I do not think there's anything he can do. He can go win a few more rings, but
Wow.
at his age, and then this injury that came up, which can be scary for a person that's
Yeah.
he's getting ready. What he's 34.
Yeah. 34, man.
You know that's kind of scary. So
Tell you
I
what.
don't know. After talking about the best, talking about LeBron, we're going to head into our list of 2018. And my first question to you, A Love, is what is your best story from the 2018 year?
My best story of the 2018 NBA season, um, well, this season in 2018, is the rebirth of Derrick Rose. Derrick
Mm,
Rose, man, the Chicago
that's a good
kid.
one.
Him coming to the Wolves and just having such a great season, averaging um, 18 points, 4.8 assists, 2.8 rebounds per game. And having it all capped off, like last week when he played Chicago and, you know, leading the team to victory with 24 points, 8 assists, and 3 boards, and the crowd just in the United Center chanting MVP, MVP, MVP. It was awesome, man. It's almost like you can see it in a movie. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I guess it had to be one of those movies where it probably should just end right there at that game and just have the credits come up because, as we know with D Rose, man, he's probably gonna not make it through the whole season. In fact, he did sprain his ankle against the Hawks that made him miss the game last night against the Heat. So, his history of injuries, despite his history of injuries, seeing him, at least up until this point, return to form that was reminiscent of what we saw in his MVP campaign. It's an awesome story, man. It's an awesome
It
story.
is. It is. It was a great resurgence. And me living in Chicago and seeing a lot of people that go to the games or whatever, his jersey is like the only jersey that these people own out here. I still see the Derrick Rose jersey. They wear these jerseys. Not they didn't wear it to just the Minnesota game. They wear it to when they face the Hornets or the Nets or any other team. Like it's
Wow.
like the only jersey that these people wear outside of Michael Jordan. You know, I
Legend.
seen a fly Dennis Rodman, but that's the only one. But it's either Michael Jordan or Derrick Rose,
A
and
legend.
it's Derrick Rose. And it's Derrick Rose by far. Even still, it's like the only jersey people own out here, and he's a legend out here. And to hear people talk about Derrick Rose, I mean,
It's still to this day, man. That's
still
pretty
to this
cool.
day, it's
Well,
a great resurgence. And I'm hoping, I'm hoping that he can build back up a resume that where he
yeah.
can make the Hall of Fame. Because so far he would be, it will look like. I mean, we're not including the current Hall of Famers, but Derrick Rose could possibly be the only MVP that don't make the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a good point, man. Wow. So, what is your best story of 2018, though?
My best story of 2018 is the dog fighting, the gladiator wars, the turf battle that is the Western Conference. The Western Conference has
Oh my.
been from 1 to 14 has been it's been a dogfight. The Hunger Games, for real. To be honest with you, this is different from the cat fight and the hair pulling that's in the JV league, the Eastern Conference. So
Wow.
we could say who's the top 5 team in the East. We
Mhm.
can't say that for the West because it changes every day. And then
Yeah.
you had the surprise teams, the young teams like Sacramento, the Clippers. Dallas is still fighting.
Yeah.
These are teams we think we're going to be the bottom of the bottom, and they're fighting for playoff spots. So,
Interesting, man. That is
man,
that has been a really good and fun watch, man. Hopefully that both stories really can continue into 2019. So Easy, like you touched on a little bit ago, there's some prize teams um over there in the West that are popping up, making the West a great watch, fun watch, and probably one of the best stories for you of 2018. Let me ask you this. Who is your biggest surprise team so far this season that's made their debut in 2018?
my surprise team. As much as I would love to say, my Brooklyn Nets is my surprise team. Um, I can't because I'm not really surprised that they're doing what they're doing. I picked them early on to be at least to be at best, fighting for a seventh, eighth seed in the East, which is possible. So, and they might even do a little better, but I'm not really surprised by the Nets. The team who I'm really surprised by is the LA Clippers because within a year or two they get rid of Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan, and you would think that they just have a complete fall off to where they'll just fall off the map and become a lower seed, lottery pick or whatever. They're actually currently the fourth seed in the West.
Wow.
So, then you have my boy Tobias Harris, the surprise
Right.
star,
Right.
showing out. Lou Williams coming off the bench, Andre Harrell, and then you got two of the top two perimeter defenders, in Avery Bradley and Patrick Beverly. Then the coach and Doc Rivers, who a lot of people underrate. So I got the Clippers as my surprise team. A-Love, who you going with?
So, Doc Rivers, man, definitely. I think you're right. He's an underrated coach, though, man. Terrible GM, terrible basketball president of operations, whatever, but good coach.
The
Um,
best move he did make was trading his son.
oh, tough move. You remember with I was gonna say, you remember when Phil Jackson tried to mess with him, like, "I'll let you get Carmelo through his son in the trade," and I don't know if it was like true, but it didn't happen. Carmelo didn't end up with the Clippers, obviously. Anyway,
Which seemed to be a great move. Not
great move, hindsight. My surprise team is a team that we have had an interesting relationship with as a show, by adopting them, revoking the adoption, and then applying for readoption. And I think that just went through. So we have readopted them as a show team, and that team is the Denver Nuggets, man. The
right.
Denver Nuggets, as of today, are the number one team in the West. And as you said, that's going to change probably tonight. They're only a half game ahead of the Warriors. But if you said at the beginning of the season, at this point of the year, that the Denver Nuggets would be number one in the West, nobody would have believed that. Nobody, man. So this team is out here balling in the crazy West, like you say. A good, solid team. Got some really good players, man. The young team, but
MVP candidate.
MVP, yes. So,
Jokic.
so we're gonna see if the Joker continue his performance. He's been putting on. See if the team can stay with their winning ways, man. And they're a fun team to watch. So, they have definitely been my surprise team of the season, and I bet you they're the surprise team for many folks.
Right. Hopefully we can get them back home.
Come on home.
Come on home.
Come on home.
Okay, so going down the list, going into the next topic. A-Love, I would like to ask you for the 2018-2019 season so far, who do you have as your MVP?
My MVP so far, and I will say this before I announce who that is. Um, I always make it a point to be objective. I always try to look at things objectively, take off my fan hat, and just, give honest, unbiased opinion. Um, and I will also say that you can't really argue with anybody's choice for MVP. There's about 4 or 5 guys who's making a good campaign right now. But for me, it has to be the king, LeBron James. LeBron James averaging 27.3 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 7.1 assists, 1.3 steals. And just for his month alone, he's been averaging 25 points on 51% shooting, 9.3 rebounds, 8.2 assists, and 1.3 steals, man. This guy at his age doing this, putting up this type of performance on night in and night out. I know he just got hurt, just went down. He's got this team that was 35 and 47 last year, 11th in the West. Now at 21 and 16, 6th in the West. And before it went down, I think it was about 5th, 4th in the West, man. This dude, for what he's done to me so far, he's the MVP of the league, man. And that's just what I say, man. He's the MVP.
I could think of a few people before LeBron who I would have as MVP.
All right, so who's your MVP?
My MVP is somebody who I don't have belief in when the playoffs come around, but the person who I have as the MVP is the Greek freak, Giannis. And I'm not going to try his last name. I still don't know how to pronounce it. But it's the Greek freak. My boy is averaging 26, 6, and 12 boards. I think along with a steal in the block. So I have to go with the Greek freak as my MVP. But I would like to give a shout out. I would like to give an honorable mention to one of my favorite players, Anthony Davis, who's also been balling out. But it's like his team has been very horrible, so they ain't doing too good. So I believe they're a 500 team. I can say AD, but I'll have to go with the Greek freak. Number one team in the league right now as far as record.
Yeah, you can't really argue with that, man. The Greek freak, not at all, man. And Kawhi's another guy out there. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
I think he kind of proved his value by missing
James Harden, even though
James Harden.
I don't too much care for him, but he's been balling out. He's averaging 33 and 8.
Yeah, man. I mean, you don't have to worry about putting effort in defense. You can definitely take the extra energy and put it in scoring.
That's why you made a great point with LeBron. So,
ooh, so yeah, but I would have to tell you though, when it comes down crunch time, LeBron, I would definitely trust LeBron guard his man than my man James Harden.
I would give you that, but then a lot of times LeBron has ducked that fade from KD.
Oh, no way.
No way.
No way.
You don't remember the Steph Curry pick and roll last year? Where he put Rodney Hood on KD?
We talking about that's what Rodney Hood. Let's talk about. Oh, don't get me started about Rodney Hood, man. Rodney Hood was brought there for a reason, and Rodney Hood, they had to beg Rodney Hood to show up in garbage time. No. LeBron wanted Rodney Hood to live up to that money he was.
No. LeBron in his mind think he's the greatest player of all time. You got to get in KD's face and stop him from making that shot.
And all I would say is we would go back to Kobe's, Jordan's championships when they're at the point where LeBron was in his career and see who was guarding the best players at the end of those games. It wasn't these guys.
But we bring up Jordan. There's video footage, and I will put it out.
There is video footage, and we might have to break that out, brother. Shoot. All right, so easy. So let's go ahead and move on, man. And we've talked about best stories, surprise team, and our MVPs. Let's talk about who in our mind, as the year ends today in 2018, who is the best team?
Who is the best team? Hey, you got me going first, right?
Yep.
So
go ahead. You tell
the team who I have as the best team is the Toronto Raptors. Now, I was debating between Toronto and Milwaukee, but because I don't have any faith in Milwaukee in the playoffs, I'm gonna go with Toronto. I would say Death Row Records, aka Thanos, aka Golden State Warriors, they having little problems right now, So I don't think they're gonna win the finals. Let me say that. I think it's gonna be a surprise this year. But my best team is the Toronto Raptors.
Oh wow.
Kawhi, MVP candidate, he's turned them completely around. They're not looking like Barney and friends no more. They're actually looking like a pretty decent team. Um, Kyle Lowry leads the league in assists. He's looking rough. He's playing better. So they just have a whole different feel and have a whole different swagger with them to them this year. So that's who I got as my best team. Hey,
I
Love, who you got?
can't argue with that, man. Toronto is looking very tough, man. But for me, man, it's a team that you or anybody for that matter believes in, man. And that team is the Milwaukee Bucks, man. Best record in the NBA. But that isn't the reason why I'm saying that they're the best team. They're the only team in the NBA that ranks in both top five in both offense and defense. And that right there, defense, if you can play defense and score in the playoffs, you can win any series, man. You're going to at least compete in any series. And this team, talent-wise, is good enough to win every series. Outside of Giannis, man, they got Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe. A few years ago, we were talking about Eric Bledsoe as a top 5 player at this position, man.
Right.
Malcolm Brogdon. Love this Malcolm Brogdon dude, man. Big guard, high IQ ball player. And Brook Lopez, man, tough, gritty. I mean, he's now shooting a bunch of threes. Don't really like that, but I tell you
He's
what,
been hitting.
he's definitely been hitting. But I seen some things he's been chucking up, man. It's like just weird to see a 7'1" dude chuck up these long threes. But I guess that's the new NBA. Uh,
Yes.
and then we talk about their bench, man. They got George Hill, veteran presence coming off the bench, and Tony Snell. I was always a Tony Snell fan when he was with Chicago, man. He's a matchup problem, long, he up. This team is tough, bro, and I think everybody's sleeping on them. If they can at least get a number 2, or at the very least end up on opposite ends of the bracket from Toronto, I think they would definitely be hands down get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I won't be surprised if they get to the finals. They're gonna get blown out, but if they did, but still. Last point I want to make to the Bucks, man, is Mike Budenholzer. Mike Budenholzer has rebuilt a 2016 Hawks team. That 2016 Hawks team in which he was named the coach of the year. They won 60 games and they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals before being routed by LeBron James and the boys. But what he has now with this Bucks team that he did not have with the Hawks team is he has a superstar in Giannis. And for real, to me, he has more tough, gritty defenders and better, more athletic players. And to me, really a deeper team with this Bucks team. Remember that Hawks team really could only run about six deep, man, 6-7 deep. This Bucks team is a lot deeper, man. So that right there is, in my opinion, the best team, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Like you said, they have to show me something in the playoffs. I'm from the show me state.
Yeah.
You show me 7, I'll show you 8. So, final topic. Going into the 2019 calendar year, halfway point of the season. Hey, Love, what are you looking for?
So, what to look for in 2019? For me, it will be basically the surprise teams' success in the playoffs. That's what to look for. Like we said, this year there's a lot of surprise teams, a lot of teams that are popping up that weren't expected to do much, that are really competing for high seeds in the playoffs, not just the playoffs. What I want to look for is kind of what you were touching on with Milwaukee, success in the playoffs. Want to see these teams win. I think that will be good for the NBA. The NBA is this narrative that it's always the same teams winning. You already know who's going to win. There's no parity in the league. I guess that's true, for however many years it's been the same with the Warriors, the Spurs, whatever team LeBron's playing on. May I dare say that it may be really good for the NBA if we do see a finals without the Warriors, and without LeBron. Maybe it would
Yeah.
be good for the NBA to see a team that really hasn't been there in a long time. And a few teams actually make runs and look competitive and have a chance to see a final with two teams we haven't seen before. So
Right.
that's what I'm looking for in 2019. What about
I,
you?
I read something. Well, I read something, and it says since the year 2000, we haven't seen a finals without LeBron, Dirk, Kobe, or Duncan. So
Wow.
since 2000, it's been a lot of parity in the league. So I
Eight,
would like to see some different people.
18 years, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. So
So,
um, what am I looking for this year? I want to see what happens with my boy Anthony Davis.
mm,
I want to see what happens if he gets traded to LA. I don't think it's going to be good for him. But I would also like to see what happens if he stays in New Orleans. Is he able to turn around this team, or are they able to build something around him that will make him change his mind to stay in New Orleans? And I want to see him continue to ball out, and I would like to see him dig his team into playoff contention. I like to see him build his team in the playoffs and make some noise in the playoffs.
mm.
That's what I'm looking for in 2019. And I want to see him win MVP. I want my boy AD to win MVP this year. That was my MVP pick, and I want to see it. I want to see it manifest itself. So
Yeah, it's got a long ways to go if he's gonna win it this year, and I would love to see him.
it's not necessarily a long way to go. It's just more so because they're what, 3, 4 games out of the playoffs right now.
Oh,
They're in the wild, wild west. So I
that
believe if he gets
that
his
and
team.
everybody else who's having great MVP seasons, right? That
Yeah, but I believe once he get his team into playoff contention, his name will be more in the conversation. So that's what I want to see, man. What happens with Anthony Davis?
they better pick it up. Man, easy. This is wild, man. 2018, last show of the year. We didn't got here. This
Yeah.
is our first season. It's been pretty fun, man. Wouldn't you say it's been pretty cool
Yeah, yeah,
doing the show?
yeah.
So we want to thank all you people out here for listening, for streaming, for
Yeah,
checking
shout
us
out to
out.
everybody.
Oh, yeah, so we hope you guys rejoin us back in 2019. We're always thinking of new segments, new things, new ideas. Again, reach out to us, interact with us on social media. Send us topics, things you might like to hear. Um, Again, thank you so much for listening to us in our first half of year 2018, and we hope to have you back in 2019. Easy, you got anything to say to the people?
Yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for listening to us so far. This year coming up, I'm going to continue to battle you Facebook trolls. I have time. Today I have time. I'm gonna have time because coming into the new year. So I want everybody, keep listening. I hope y'all keep listening, keep watching us. Check us out on social media, YouTube. We're gonna be on the Facebook, Twitter. We're gonna be everywhere this year, and I hope y'all join us.
Oh yeah,
Thanks for listening. This is your boy Eezy.
this A Love.
2018. This is In the Back of the Class NBA podcast. Peace.
Peace out.